सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्द्रव्यत्वनिर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। In the last class, we saw the third lingam, fourth lingam, fifth and sixth. Third lingam is apurvata. Wherever apurvata is there, where apurvata is there, there alone the tatparyam of Shastra can be there. And Shruti is saying that Shraddhatsva Somya Acharyavan Purusho Veda. From that we understand that Shraddha is required in Vedanta. And Shraddha is required in Vedanta will be tenable when this Advaitam is explained, revealed by Vedanta only. If Advaita can be revealed by something else, then but the Shruti would not ask us to have Shraddha in Vedanta. And simple way of seeing this Apurvata is, Shruti is saying that for understanding this Advitiya Brahma, one requires the Shastra and Acharya. And that is possible. That type of statement is tenable when Advaita can be understood only by Vedanta. Thus, with regard to Advaita, there is uniqueness of topic, the prameya of the Shastra. And therefore, Advaita can be the tatparya of Shastra. The fourth linga is the phalam. Shastra talks about the result of this Brahmagdanam, Advaita Brahmagdanam, in the form of Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Tasya Tavadeva Chiram Yavanna Vimokshe indicates Jivan Mukti and Atha Sampatsya Videha Mukti. The Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti are presented as the result of Advaita Brahmagdanam. And that also, that result, the mention of the result becomes the indicator of Tatparyam in Advaita Brahma. Fifth linga is Arthavada. By Srishti Vakya, the Arthavada is done. That Dvaita Prapancha is Mithya and Karana Bhuta Advaita, Karanatva Upalakshita Advaita Brahma is Satyam. Thus, Bheda Ninda is there and therefore Abheda is Satyam. Abheda is Tatparya Vishaya. So, whatever is glorified is Tatparya Vishaya. Bheda Ninda Kriyate and Abheda Stutihi Kriyate by Srishti Vakya. And therefore, Abheda is Tatparya Vishaya. Then Upapatti is showing the example, suggesting the reasoning, Vyapti. So, we had seen the Drashtanta Pradarshanam Upapattihi. The presentation of the example is called reasoning. Drashtanta itself is not reasoning, but Drashtanta implies Vyapti. Vyapti implies Anumanam. And thus, the Anumanam, reasoning given, is also a Tatparya Linga. So, Shruti gives reasoning to establish Advaita, and therefore Advaita is Tatparya Linga. Up to this we have seen. Evam Upakramopasamharadi Shadvidalingaihi Vedanta Vakyanam Advaite Pratyagatmani Tatparya Nirnayanukula Cheto Vrittihi Shravanam. We have seen this idea has already come. Cheto vritti means mental activity. This mental activity is Shravanam. What type of mental activities? Mental activities you keep doing. Puja Swamiji says that when he gives the definition of upasana or dhyana, he says Saguna Brahma Vishayaka Manasa Vyapara. He said only Manasa Vyapara is there, then worries also will be called dhyana. Ati Vyapti ho jayegi. So Manasa Vyapara is not, mere Manasa Vyapara is not dhyana. Similarly, here Cheto Vritti, mental activity merely is not Shravan. Merely mental activity is not Shravan. Therefore, Tatparya Nirnayanukulaha. Anukula means leading to, producer of. Tatparya Nirnaya. Ascertainment of the essential vision, purport. So the mental activity leading to the ascertainment of the purport of Vedanta Vakyanam, of the sentences of Vedanta. In what? Advaite Pratyagatmani. In non-dual Brahma, which is Pratyagatma, which is the inner self. And how this Tatparya Nirnaya is done? Shadvida Lingehi, by sixfold indicators. And what are they? Upakrama Samharadi, starting with the harmony of the beginning and the end. Evam, in this manner. In this manner, the mental activity leading to the ascertainment of Tatparya, the final vision, in Advaita Pratyagatma, non-dual inner self, on whose Tatparya? Vedanta Vakyanam, of all Vedanta Vakyas, with the help of sixfold indicators starting with Upakrama and Upasamhara, beginning and the end. In simple words, Shravanam is arriving at the Tatparyam of Shastra in Advitiya Brahma with the help of sixfold indicators. And this was demonstrated in the context of the 6th chapter of Chandogya. Now he says this is to be extended to other Upanishads. Evam eva. Similarly, Sarvesham api Vedantanam. Here Vedanta means Upanishadam. Of all Upanishads, Advaite Tatparya Vidharanam Bodhyam, which are Tatparyavadharanam Bodhyam. In this manner only the ascertainment, avadharana is ascertainment of the Tatparya, the purport of all Vedantas in Advaita, of Sarvesham Vedantanam, of all Vedanta Vakya or all Upanishads in Advaita, Bodhyam should be understood. Evameva, similarly, the ascertainment of the purport of all the Vedantas, all the Upanishads in Advaita should be understood. Like in mathematics, one sum is done in the classroom and then say rest of them is homework. So homework is given. That all Upanishads you can do. Alright, should be understood. And all of a sudden, the author wants to clarify what is Upakrama, what is Upasamhara. So I don't know why in the end. कभी कभी क्या होता है कि when we are serving item, no, one item we forgot. So lastly it will come. It should have come in between or beginning. You forget. Oh, it happens. So lastly they bring. So Upakrama is Prakaranarambha, the beginning of the chapter. Upasamhara, conclusion, means Prakarana Sabhaptihi, the end of the chapter. So that is Upakrama Upasamhara, we have already seen. So far we have seen the definition of Shravanam. Now the definition of Mananam is given. Manana Lakshanam. The definition, Lakshanam is definition of Manana. Manana is translated by different words, reflection, deliberation, dwelling upon. So Mananam, we'll keep it at Mananam. It's very simple word, without any matra, Manana, A is not there, only Manana. So Manana. That's like Karana है ना Karana. So similarly Manana.
Tanaya.
Tanaya. Correct. बोला इधर. Correct. Here but Samyam. Very good. Both are without Gujarati बोलते कानो मात्रा विना. So there is no stroke, this simple. Correct. Tanaya. Good. Mananam Nama. What is Mananam? Mananam means, Nama means. Anusandhanam. Last word is that Anusandhanam. Dwelling upon. Dwelling upon what? Dwelling upon, like, how to get the job, how to, correct that person. Not that. Brahmatmaikya. Advitiya Brahmatmaikya. Advitiya Brahmatmaikye or Aikyasya Anusandhanam. Vishaya Shashti. Deliberation upon. Okay, we have not read this now. No. Okay, we'll read now. We'll start again. थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया था तो बंद कर दिया था. So, मननम नाम प्रत्यक ब्रह्मैक्य साधक तद्भेद बाधक युक्तिभिः सदा अद्वितीय ब्रह्मात्मैक्यानुसंधानम्. So mananam means anusandhanam, dwelling upon. Dwelling upon what? Advitiya Brahmatmaikya. Dwelling upon the oneness between non-dual Brahma and Atma, the self. When? Not Juma to Juma. Sada, always. Juma means Friday. Okay? Juma means is a Urdu word. Juma. Have you heard the Juma?
In Indonesia, what we have Jumat.
Jumat. Yes,
Friday.
correct. Juma. Yeah, Juma. I think it's Juma. Maybe Juma only. Okay. Sada, always. Dwelling upon the oneness between non-dual Brahman and the self. Always. Always deliberation upon this oneness. How? Yukti bihi. With the help of reasoning. And what type of reasoning? Logic. Two types of logic. One is Pratyak Brahmaikya Sadhaka. Sadhaka means establishing or establisher of Aikya, oneness between Pratyak, the inner self, and Brahma, limitless reality, the cause or the adhishthanam of this world, Brahma. So deliberation upon oneness of Brahma and Atma with the help of logic, which is establishing oneness between the inner self and Brahma. This is one. And afterward there is a comma, no? Grammatically comma cannot be there. Hyphen has to be there. Why? Because the word is not complete here. So it is, I don't know how they can do that. Comma, it cannot be. It's a complete word. So put hyphen. Thoda respect karenge usko. So sadhaka. And so it is one type of logic. So twofold logics are there. One is Aikya Sadhaka, that which is establishing, arriving at or supporting the oneness between Pratyagatma and Brahma. Second is what? Tadbheda Badhaka. The negating, Badhaka means the negating or negator. The reasoning which is negating Tadbheda, the division between them. And Tad refers to what? Pratyak Brahma. So the reasoning which is the negator of the difference between the inner self and Brahma. So deliberation or dwelling upon the oneness between Brahma and Atma with the help of logic, which is the establisher of the oneness and the negator of the division. So you use both the yuktis. One is Pratyek Brahma Aikya Sadhaka also is there, that type of logic, and other is Bheda Badhaka. Like, some disease is there, so you have to positively take some particular nutrients and you have to avoid the opposite. So here both, you use the yukti, which is Aikya Sadhaka, establishing Aikya, and Bheda Badhaka, both. Alright. So now we may wonder, Swamiji, what is Aikya Sadhaka Yukti? What type of reasoning is Aikya Sadhaka? Sadhaka means establishing oneness. And what is the Bheda Badhaka? I don't have to explain because Tippanikara is explaining. So bada sa very long footnote is there. He has got a lot of patience. So very लिख Aikya Sadhaka Yuktaya. Footnote number 1. Aikya Sadhana. Now one is down below, not but Swamiji, we start with 3. Don't say down below. Aikya Sanskrit 1. Swamiji, start with 3 से होता है, एक कहाँ है? So नीचे है थोड़ा. Aikya Sadhaka Yuktaya. The reasonings which are Sadhaka, establishing oneness. Sadhayati iti sadhaka, mul. Aikya sadhaka yuktaya. They are given 3. Alright. So yukti is in the form of pramana. ये थोड़ा विशिष्ट, very unique or unusual type of presentation is there, where the upamana also is presented as yukti. Generally it is not. Alright. Sitasya gatihi chintaniya. So what is given we understand. So when we go to somebody's house, whatever served we eat. Not अभी ये बनाओ ये बनाओ ऐसा क्यों बनाया ऐसा नहीं पूछना खाया तो दिया खा लो. Okay. So anumana pramana. Okay. So the yukti in the form of the means of knowledge in the form of anumanam, inference. Alright, first we will see what he has told. Afterwards, I will talk about what is the meaning of anumana, etc. Because if I tell with that, then it becomes a little complicated. Simple one, पहले समझ लो. तो पहले थोड़ा हल्का हल्का खा लो, फिर बारी खाएंगे. Here, main anumanam is at the end. Jivaha api brahma eva. Is that? Did you get it? 4th line.
Yes.
Jivaha api brahma eva. Jiva also is Brahman alone. Why? Satchidananda Swarupatvat. Because Jiva is of the nature of existence, consciousness, Ananda, fullness. I was reading one book which is giving translation. You know what is the translation for Ananda? Peace. I said, wow, wonderful. In a way it is okay. But Ananda we don't translate as peace. Satchidananda. So Jiva is Brahma Eva, is Brahman alone. Why? Because it is of the nature of existence, consciousness and fullness. Like what? Ishwaravat. Like the Lord. Ishvara is what? Satchidananda. One name of Ishvara is Satchidananda. Satchidanandaya Namaha. So his name. Ishwaravat. Just as Ishvara is Satchidananda and it is Brahma. In that there is no doubt. Ishvara is presented as Brahma and Ishvara is Satchidananda is clear. So just as Ishvara is Brahma and it is Satchidananda. Similarly, Jiva also is Brahma. Why? Because it is Satchidananda. Iti anumanam. In this manner, there is inference. And inference requires vyapti. The definition of anumanam is, now I can introduce this. Anumiti Karanam Anumanam. What is Anumanam? Inference. Inference is the means for inferential knowledge. Anumiti means inferential knowledge. Anumanam is Anumiti Karanam. Anumiti means inferential knowledge. So the means for inferential knowledge is called Anumanam. This simple one. Acha. Now what is Anumitihi? Vyapti Jnana Janya Anumitihi. Inferential knowledge is the knowledge which is born of the knowledge of concomitance. Concomitance means what? Invariable connection. Like what? Our stock example is there. Parvato Vanniman Dhumavatvat Yatha Pakashalayam. So this Anumanam we have that the mountain has got fire because it has got smoke. Like what? Like the olden days Pakashala kitchen. And this Anumanam is the fire is established in the mountain or on the mountain based on what? Based on the linga, dhuma, smoke. Seeing the smoke, we are inferring fire. But mere smoke will not establish. Mere smoke or mere knowledge of smoke will not establish fire. Why? Because we are seeing so many other things. Trees also we are seeing. Human beings also we are seeing. Why are we not saying that mountain has got fire because there is tree? We don't say. Why? Because the tree and fire do not have that concomitance. Invariable connection is not there. Whereas between the smoke and fire, there is invariable connection. And that invariable connection is called Vyaptihi. And what type of Vyapti is there? Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi. That particular Vyapti, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. We have seen in what? The kitchen or some chimney, etc. We have seen factory chimney. We see that the dhumra sera, this continuous line of smoke. What are the results? Continuous smoke. So we have seen, and then we say that there is a fire. So wherever we saw smoke, we found out, yeah, there is fire. Smoke is there, fire is there. So now we have got this knowledge of the concomitance, invariable connection. And knowledge of invariable connection, when accompanied by this linga jnanam, then there is anumitihi. Therefore, say vyapti jnana janya anumitihi. The inferential knowledge is that which is born of the knowledge of vyapti. Of course, through linga jnana dvara. Mere vyapti will not give. Linga jnana sahita or linga jnana dvara vyapti jnana janya anumitihi. So, inferential knowledge is that which is born of the knowledge of concomitance, invariable connection, along with the linga, along with the indicator. And here also, in this Anumana also, Jivopi Brahmaiva Satchidananda Swarupatvat Ishvaravat, we did Anumanam, for that Vyapti is required. What is the Vyapti? That is given in the beginning. Yat Satchidananda Swarupam na tad Brahmanaha Vidyate. Whatever is of the nature of Satchidananda, that thing does not differ from Brahman, is non-separate from Brahman, is identical with Brahman. Na tataha tat brahmanaha vidyate. In positive language, tat brahma bhinnam. That is non-separate, identical with, non-different from Brahma. one with Brahman. Whatever is of nature of Satchidananda, it is Brahma. Abhinna is non-separate from Brahman, is identical with Brahman. This is called Anvaya Vyapti. Anvaya Vyapti means this co-presence. Yatra dhumaha tatra vani. This is called Anvaya Vyapti. Anvaya Vyapti means the concomitance of the presence of two things. Dhuma is present, fire is present. So the concomitance, the invariable connection between the presence of the two things, it is called Anvaya Vyapti, positive concomitance. Vyatireka Vyapti is what? Yatra bandhir nasti, tatra dhumopi nasti. Where fire is not there, that smoke is also not there. That is called Vyatireka Vyapti. Okay. So similarly here, Vyatireka Vyapti. Vyatireka Vyapti is shown in a very, what is called, non-tight manner, very loose manner. It is shown. Exactly tight manner is shown, it's slightly different format should be there. But we don't go. Generally, they may not be expecting us to know the Nyaya, etc. In fact, he has written, this is meant for those who don't know Nyaya. So, इसलिए वो चल जाता है. So, it goes. Yeah. Otherwise, a tight feel is not there. यत् सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपम न भवति तद ब्रह्मणः भिद्यते. It should be what?
Reverse.
What?
Yat brahmanah vidyate tat satchidananda swarupam na bhavati.
Correct. But we have to understand this way. Even though it is written like this, we will understand that. That which is different from Brahman is not of the nature of Satchidananda. This is what Vyatireka Vyapti. Alright. And simple one, as it is given, we will understand that which is of the nature of Satchidananda, that which is not of the nature of Satchidananda, that will be different from Brahman. Okay. Yatha Ishvaraha. Okay, now he gives the Drishtanta for Anvaya Vyapti and Drishtanta for Vyatireka Vyapti. Yes Satchidananda Swarupam na tad Brahmana Vidyate. For that Drishtanta is what? Yatha Ishvaraha. Just as Ishvara, Satchidananda Swarupatva being of the nature of Satchidananda, Brahmanaha na Vidyate, is not different from Brahman. Alright. This is Anvaya Vyapti, positive concomitance. Now Vyatireka Vyapti. Vyavhariko Ghatadihi, pot etc., which are empirically real. So empirically real, pot etc. Tu, however, Anruta Jada Dukkhatmakatvena, being of the character of Anruta, unreal, Jada, inert, Dukkhatmaka, nature of pain. Always pot is not pain. Sometimes somebody throw on us or we lose the pot we had and we lose it. Then is pain. Or somebody break it. It was here and somebody while cleaning broke it. Swamiji will not even know, so no problem. But he knows that, oh my God, this pot is gone. So Dukkhatmaka. Dukkhatmakatvena means it is here dukkha should be understood as the nature of limitation. Because ananda means what? Purnatvam. So dukkha means what? Apurnatvam. Therefore dukkha should be understood as of the nature of limitation. So whereas pot etc. being of the character of unreal, being unreal, inert and limitation. Therefore what? Satchidananda Swarupatva Bhavat. Since there is absence of the nature of Satchidananda and therefore Brahmanaha Vidyate. It is different from pot. So whatever is not Satchidananda will be different from Brahman. Or whatever is different from Brahman will not have Satchidananda Swarupa. This is from a standpoint. Finally we say everything is Satchidananda. But here from a particular angle, that Brahman does not have ghatatva. Ghata is not separate from Brahman, but Brahman is not ghata swarupa. Ghatatva is not intrinsic to Brahman. In that sense, we say that it is Brahmanaha bhinnaha. Okay, it is different from Brahman. So we got this Vyapti. Whatever is Satchidananda is not different from Brahman. Whatever is not Satchidananda, whatever is different from Brahman will not be Satchidananda. And therefore, these two Vyaptis are there. Therefore, evam. Thus, Jivopi Brahmaiva. Jiva also is Brahma. Why Satchidananda Swarupa? Ishvaravat iti anumanam. So this is the yukti. In simple words, we can tell Ishvara, Ishvara, you are what? Satchidananda. I am also Satchidananda. Therefore what? You are Brahman? Yes. Ishvara will say what? Yes. I will say what? If you are Brahman, I am also Brahman. That is simple way of saying. Okay. मय्येवोदेति चिद्व्योम्नि जगद्गन्धर्वपत्तनम् अतोऽहं न कथं ब्रह्म सर्वज्ञं सर्वकारणम्. In Advaita Makaranda, it is said that I consciousness also am the adhishtanam of the entire Jagat. Therefore, I am also Brahman. Because Brahmani you are telling the Jagat Karanam. I consciousness also am Jagat adhishtanam. Therefore, I am also Karanam. Therefore, I am Brahman. Alright, so in Advaita Makaranda, there are different questions raised. How can you be Brahman? How can you be Brahman? So answers are given. One of them is this. It starts with this. Aham asmi sadabhami kadachinnaham apriyaha. Atoham na katham brahma satchidananda lakshanam. I am sada asmi. I always am. No, Swamiji, I am going to die. The astrologer told that 89 you are going to die. So, no, but I am telling you what really you are, Sada Asmi. Sada Asmi. And you always shine. Maybe shining through this body, shining through other body, but I always shine. And I am not apriyaha. Means what? Positively speaking, I am Sada Priyaha. Not only Priyaha, I am Priyatamaha. Therefore what? Ananda Swarupaha. Ato hamna katham Brahma. Satchidananda Lakshanam. I am Satchidananda Lakshanam. And Ishvara also Satchidananda Lakshanam. And Ishvara is Brahman, so I am Brahman. So, Lakshana Ekye, Lakshana, Lakshya Ekyam. That is the logic used. Since the Lakshana, the nature is same, nature of Ishvara and nature of Jiva is the same, therefore, Lakshya, Brahma is also same. Alright, this is Anumanam. Then second is Upamana Pramanam. The means of knowledge in the form of simile. And he has used this Upamana Pramanam in a very, very simple sense. Technically, this is not Upamanam, what is going to be given. But the way we generally understand Upamanam, that he has given. He has talked to us in our language. Like child said, boo boo. Child, water is called boo boo. I don't know. In your language, what they say? Child, have you heard baby's language? Huh? Boo boo. In Gujarati, it is a boo boo. In Tamil, it is there. Water. What they call? There is some word with that. Boo boo. Huh?
Mimi.
Mimi. Something. Correct. It will be there. Every language has to be there. Some word will be there. Boo boo. So means water. So I remember we used to hear this. Boo. So similarly, author is treating us like child. And he talks to us about Upamana in our language. So generally what do we understand? Upamana means Devadatta is having the face like moon. This is Upamana. The moon is Upamana and Devadatta's face is Upameya. Upamana means the simile. Upameya means that which is compared. That which is compared with is called Upamana. that which is compared is called upameya. So upamana means simile, example, that's all. So he said, with the help of example also, upamana he gives the meaning of simile, example. By example also we can understand. This will be, the Nayayikas when they listen, they will say, this will come under Anumanam only. But हम उसको उपमान कहेंगे, चलो कोई बात नहीं है, अद्वैत तो सिद्ध होता है ना. हाँ, what is established is Advaita, कोई बात नहीं, जो भी कहो, Advaita is established. But just for our information, technically this is not Upamanam, but in a common parlance, it can be called Upamanam. कभी-कभी when we have background, no, sometimes, then we said, how can we say like this? If you don't have background, हाँ बढ़िया बताया, very nicely shown. All right. So upamana pramanam. He gives explanation. Upamana pramanam for what? Advaita. The Aikyam. How there is oneness between Brahma and Jiva, or Jiva and Ishvara, can be understood even with the example. He says. That is what he means by upamana pramana. Yatha, just as ghatakasha mathakashayoho घटमठ रूपोपाधि बिना न स्वतः भेदः अस्ति. Just as घटाकाश and mathakasha. Matha means a hall. A big room is called matha. In fact, matha we use the word for a particular ashram is called matha. But matha means big hall, big room. So ghatakasha means pot space. Mathakasha means room space. Just as between the pot space and room space, swataha bhedaha na asti. Swataha means intrinsic. Intrinsic division is not there. Between pot space and room space, there is no intrinsic division. But we say, no, the pot space is very small, room space is very big. Some difference is there. Then he says, yes, a difference is there, but it is not there vina, without the reference of ghata, matha, rupa, upadhi. Dvitiya dvivachanam. Vina governs how many cases?
3,
Ah.
2, 3, and 5.
Correct. 2, 3, 5. So here it is 2. Upadhi vina. Without the upadhi, adjunct, conditioning factor. So the difference between the ghatakasha and mahakasha is not there without the reference of the conditioning factors or adjunct in the form of rupa, in the form of ghata and matha. Pot and the walls, the room, what we call room. So without the reference of the upadhi of the pot and the room, there is no intrinsic difference between ghatakasha and mathakasha. Ghatakasha and mahakasha, both of them are one. Puja Swamiji used to say, Ghata will have complex. I am a small. So Ghatakasha also will have small, is complex. I am a very small fellow. Chota sa, even 1 liter water cannot come. Half a liter also doesn't come. बहुत छोटा आदमी हूँ मैं. I am very small fellow. You see room, how big it is. When will I become this room space? Every day I should do some exercise. I will blow. Exercise, I don't know where I will burn. कुछ करेंगे, कुछ खाएंगे ज़्यादा, मिट्टी खाएंगे. So somehow will become big. So to that Ghatakasha Upadesha is given. What? You, Ghatakasha, and this Mathakasha, room space, are one. How? You will say. How? Then you say. Swataha, intrinsically you are space. Yes, I am space. People call I am space. So I am space. And what about this room space? There is also space. Intrinsic Veda is not there. But based on Upadhi, Veda is just referred to. Veda is mentioned figuratively. Without the reference of Upadhi, this Veda cannot be talked about. So, but Swami, still Veda is there, no? Upadhi based Veda is there, means Veda is there. Then we add one more point. What? That Upadhi is Nitya. In the Dashtanta, Upadhi is Mithya. And here, in Drishtanta also, that Upadhi does not cause any limitation to the Upahita Akasha. Two ways we handle. In the Drishtanta, we say that Upadhi does not cause any intrinsic limitation to Upahita Akasha. In other words, the pot does not really limit space. Pot appears to limit, but really pot does not limit. Upadhina upahitaha or upahita swarupa is not limited. Why? Because very pot itself is in the space. How can it limit space? Pot itself is in space, and therefore pot cannot really limit space. Appears to limit. And thus, Upadhi vina Veda cannot be talked about, and Upadhi really does not limit. Therefore, intrinsic division is not there. And in Dashtanta we say Upadhi is Mithya. And Mithya Upadhi based division also Mithya. Alright. So this is Upamana, Drishtanta, Tatha. Similarly, Antahkarana Maya Rupopadhi Antara. He doesn't like to use the same word. So Antara means Vina, same, without. Without Upadhi. These two adjuncts, Rupa in the form of Antahkarana or Buddhi. Whatever you say, Antahkarana or Buddhi. Buddhi and Maya or Antahkarana and Maya. So without the adjuncts, without the reference of adjuncts such as or in the form of the Antahkarana, the mind which is otherwise called Buddhi. So without the reference of Upadhi of Antahkaranam and Maya, Jiva Brahmanoho api, the difference between the Jiva and Brahma, Ishvara, Veda, Neva Siddhyati is not established at all. So Jiva is Antahkaranopadika Brahma. Ishvara is Mayopadikam Brahma. And between them, Veda is only based on Upadhi. Without the reference of Upadhi, there is no difference. And as we saw in the Drishtanta, Upadhi really does not limit the Upahita. That is first reason. And in Dashtanta, we have an additional reason that Upadhi is Mithya. Upadhi really does not limit Upahita, and therefore their division is not intrinsic, Veda is not intrinsic. And second is Upadhi is Mithya, and unreal. And unreal Upadhi based division also is unreal. Therefore, real Veda is Naiva Siddhyati, is not established at all. This is Upamana. Since this occasion has come, let us see what is the definition of Upamanam in Vedanta. It is amazing. This, if you understand Upamana, my God, this is called Upamana. You will think. In Upamana, Upamana, generally we have example of Gau and Gavaya. Cow and Gavaya means that one particular bison or something, their name they give wild cow or something. So it's called Gavaya. Sometimes they show it to Mesho Swami. This is Gavaya they call. They show. So it looks like cow. Wild cow we can say. That's called Gavaya. So a person goes to the forest he is seeing this one animal, and he will have this understanding. What? Ayam pindaha go sadrishaha. This animal is like cow, my cow, or cow. You can say cow also. This pinda, this animal, this body is like a cow. Means this etat pinda nishtha go sadrishya jnanam bhavati. The knowledge of similarity with the cow, the similarity obtaining in this pinda. Ayam pindaha go sadrishaha. And somebody says this is a gavaya. Oh, acha, it is gavaya. So this gavaya has got similarity. This gavaya has similarity to my cow. Gavaya nishtha go sadrishya jnanam. That becomes the karanam, the instrument, the means. And based on that, you get another knowledge. What is that knowledge? Anena sadrishi madiya gauhu. My cow is like this. Gonishtha gavaya sadrishya jnanam. Means the knowledge of the similarity with this gavaya, wild cow, in my cow. My cow has got similarity with this wild cow, gavaya. This is another piece of knowledge. Two are there also. Hey, only both of look one. Two are there, no? The first one is what? This pinda, this animal is like my cow. This is called upamanam. This becomes the means. What? This animal, now this person is in the forest and he said this animal, people say gavaya, gavaya. This gavaya is like my cow. This knowledge becomes the basis for what? The knowledge that my cow is like this animal. So my cow is like this animal is called upamiti, simile based knowledge. And this animal is like my cow, that is called upamana, the pramanam. बस इतना ही फर्क है. Upamana means the means of knowledge in the form of simile. So the means of knowledge in the form of simile is what? This pinda is like my cow. And what is the phalam? Result? My cow is like this animal. बस इतना ही है. Gavaya nishtha go sadrishya jnanam is karanam, upamanam. And gonishtha gavaya sadrishya jnanam is phalam, upamiti. बस इतना ही है उसमें. हमको लगता है इसमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है. बहुत उसमें विवाद है शास्त्र में. That's why Nayayika don't accept this. ये क्या बात है? जैसे उपमाना not Nayayika, Vaisheshika accept. Nayayikas don't accept. Upamana pramana, Vaisheshika accept. Alright. This is really upamiti. This doesn't appear here. No? ये बहुत complicated है. No, this is really it is to comprehend that this is upamanam and upamiti itself is a problem. तो इसलिए ऑथर ने सबको एक बूबू लैंग्वेज बूबू लैंग्वेज में समझा दिया हमको. ओरिजिनल इज दिस. Then I put it in the format of Anumanam. Okay, so but it will have a problem. But I will tell you what could be the format. What will be the Upamanam? Akasha Nishtha Upadi Prayukta Brahma Bheda Sadrishya Jnanam. Akasha Nishtha, you can put hyphen. Upadi Prayukta or Upadi Prayukta Brahma Bheda Sadrishya Jnanam is Upamanam. Upamiti will be what? Brahmanishtha Upadi Prayukta Akasha Brahma Upadi Prayukta Brahma Abheda. Okay, Upadi Prayukta. Okay, ठीक है, भेद विकल्प. Brahmanishtha Upadi Prayukta Akasha Bheda Sadrishya Jnanam will be Upamiti. Alright. This will be the format, but this one does not happen. Seeing the Akasha, you don't say that in this Akasha, the Veda is like Veda in Brahma. It doesn't happen. Therefore, that type of tight format will not be applied. Anyway, if I talk like this, that those who are listening on recording, they will stop listening. So, कोई बात नहीं, जो सुनते हैं सुनते हैं, नहीं सुनते हैं नहीं सुनते. But I have just wanted to tell you this Upamanam. Classical Vedanta Paribhasha Upamana Lakshanam is this. This Vaisheshika tells Upamanam very simple. What he says, that a person who is living in the city, he has not seen Gavaya. And somebody has told him that there is an animal in the forest called Gavaya. It looks like this cow only. And this person goes to the forest, this urbanite, the city person, goes to the city, goes to the forest, and he sees some animal like cow, but not the cow. Then he says, yeah, oh, this is called Gavaya. So he gets what? Sanya Sangni Jnanam. Sanya means name. This name Gavaya belongs to this entity, Sagni, this animal. This is called Gavaya. This knowledge is called Sanya Sangni Jnanam. Sanya means name. Sangni means the entity who has got the name. So Upamiti will be in the form of Sanya Sangni Jnanam. And Upamanam will be in the form of whatever the means for this knowledge. In the form of understanding that Go Sadrishaha Gavayaha or Gavayaha Go Sadrisha, that Jnanam will become this Nimitta. A is the Karana. That will become Upamana. So Upamana Jnanam has got the Phalam in the form of Sanya Sangli Bhava. When I was explaining this Pramana to one group whom I was teaching Vedanta Sara, means all Pramana I was talking about. ये उपमान प्रमाण में तो लोग थोड़ा is, they get confused. So I told to console them. I said, even if you don't understand upamana pramanam, your moksha will not be in trouble. Still you can understand aham brahmasmi. No problem. Then one lady said, he said, but when we go to the forest, it will be useful. When we go to the forest, very innocently told that I said Upamana is not so much necessary for getting Brahma Jnanam. It's okay. Just because they were feeling, I can see that they are feeling a little depressed. So one elderly lady said like, स्वामी जी लेकिन जब वन में जाते हैं ना तो काम आता है. We laughed. Now you can imagine while thinking about that I am so much amused. And very very innocently she told, जंगल में जाने से काम आता है. Alright, this is उपमानम. बस तो ये याद रखना जो what is उपमानम? Something that जंगल में जाने से. When you go to the forest, that knowledge which is useful. ये definition याद रखना. Alright, so now time is up. So we'll see you next tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti
Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.